Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Hashem, Akarkadash. Barakatham to the elders, Wa'akim, Wa'akwaf, and I say Shalom. And this is a sit-down lesson of the prophecy updates as of January 14th, 2025 on this Tuesday afternoon. And it says Israel and Hamas near Gaza ceasefire agreement, media reports. Read that news article. This is published January 14th, 2025, and it reads from World News from RT.com. It says Israel and Hamas near Gaza ceasefire agreement, media reports. Sides close to finalizing talks that will potentially end a 15-month conflict, the CBS News reports citing U.S. and regional officials. Israel and Hamas are nearly in agreement for a ceasefire and hostage release. The deal is expected to bring an end to a devastating 15-month conflict with key breakthroughs achieved in recent talks. Several media outlets claim citing U.S., Israeli, and Arab officials. It says mediators are still awaiting for the response of both parties. A source familiar with the matter has told RT. The implementation could begin by weekend, and parties have already begun drafting public statements hailing success, CBS News wrote on Tuesday. It says the framework, including a 42-day truce and the release of 33 hostages held by Hamas and a protocol exchange of the Palestinian prisoners by Israel, the CBS News reported on Monday. If the Israeli government votes to ratify the deal shortly, therefore, the process could begin within days. This could mark the success of the President Joe Biden long-sought ceasefire deal. With the incoming president-elect Donald Trump expected to oversee its implementation. The U.S. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan emphasizes the urgency on Monday, stating, "We are close to a deal, and it can get it done this week." The conflict, which began in October 2023 following a deadly Hamas attack on Israel and result of 46,000 deaths in Gaza, according to the local health authorities. Qatar has reported. It says Qatar has reportedly pressured Hamas leader Mohammed Sinwar to accept the deal, while Trump Special Envoy Steve Witkoff has urged the Israeli delegations to do the same. The Associated Press reported on Monday Egypt's intelligence chief Hassan Mohammed Rashad participated in the Dulia. According to the RT, Turkish media reports intelligence chief Abraham Kalian, if I pronounced the name right, engaged with the Hamas to support the deal. Excuse me. Despite the media reports led by the U.S., Qatar, and Egypt, negotiations have faced repeated delays over the key issues, including the specifics of the hostage and prisoner exchange, the timeline for the Israeli withdrawal, and whether the ceasefire will be permanent. What's that scripture says? 1 Thessalonians. It's the book of 1 Thessalonians, chapter 5, and verse 3. For when they shall say peace and safety, such destruction come upon them as a travail born with child, they should not escape. It says Ukraine chemical attack on Russian defense plant staff throttled. The FSB. It says the Trump aide says Ukraine could collapse in 2025. It's This is a news article from RT.com as of January the 14th, 2025. It reads, it says NATO stepped up patrol in strategic ballistic sea. The U.S.-led bloc cited the need to protect underseas infrastructures after a possible sabotage in the area. The U.S.-led NATO bloc on Tuesday announced it will increase the ballistic sea presence by launching a new missile called Ballistic Sentry, and is being set up under the pretext to protect the undersea infrastructure after a string of disruptions and damaging in the Cable region. Russia perceives the Ballistic Sea as a strategic area for the naval operations and the engines expert. Unveiling the operation, NATO Secretary General Mark Monty said it's set to involve projects of maritime patrol aircraft and a small fleet of naval drones that are expected to provide enhanced surveillance and deterrence in the Ballistic Sea. Across the alliance, we have seen elements of a campaign destabilizing of our society through the cyber attacks, assassinations, attempt, and sabotage, including possible sabotage of undersea cables in the Ballistic Sea, rooted towards the reporters of the Helsinki after the NATO summit. It says of the Ballistic Sea allies that brought together leaders from Finland, Poland, Denmark, Germany, Sweden, Latvia, Lithuania, and Estonia. The cable incidents have been linked to Chinese ships in Yiping 3, which had passed over the two cables, allegedly severely than the anchor dragging across the seabed. The EU investigators were permitted to board the vessels to investigate the ships, which allowed to resume the journey. China has said it will continue to cooperate. The most recent incident occurred late in December with the supposedly Russian-linked oil tanker and the Eagle S, allegedly damaging the East Link 2 power cable, which connects Finland, Estonia. In the absence of the concentrated proof, officials have stopped short of directly implication Moscow. The vessels ended at the border and seized by the Finnish police and border guards, with the investigator claiming the ships were missing one of her anchors. This is the book of Ecclesiasticus 3 verse 8. In a time of love, in a time of HATE, in a time of war, in a time of peace. It's the book of Joel, chapter 3 verse 9. It says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. The prophet Joel 3 verse 10. Beat your plowshares and the swords and pointing hooks into spears, and let the weak stand strong. It's the book of 2nd Ezra 9 and verse 3. Therefore, when there should be seen earthquakes, uproars, people in the world. 2nd Ezra 15 and verse 15. It says, for the sword of destruction draweth nigh, when people should stand up and fight against another with swords in hands. 2nd Ezra 15 verse 16. For there should be sedition among men, invading one another. They should not regard their kings, nor their princes, and of course the action stand in their power. As it says again, NATO steps up patrols in the strategic ballistic sea. The U.S.-led bloc cite the need of undersea infrastructure after a possible sabotage in the sea. So it go to some more news article that relates to prophecy updates. Go to the Jerusalem Post. It says engineers could flee to Iran to avoid drone strikes, U.S. officials say. It says Biden and Sicily to coordinate closely in the coming hours after amending Gaza deal talks. Governor Secretary, the only factor that thwarted the deal is Hamas. The IAF strikes Jenny in joint operation. The Israeli foreign minister says we must see real change among Palestinians to achieve peace. U.S. to lift destinations of Cuba as a state of sponsor to TERRORISM. Associated Press reports. Houthi spokesperson claimed group launched missiles at LA Power Station reports. It says pro-Palestinian protesters interrupt Blinken's speech in hostage deal. It says U.S. ban imports from companies over Uruguay forced labor. 3 explosive devices weighing 1.5 kg seized in and Al-Fam. It says groups throw cocktails at Israeli vehicles near area. It says U.S. lawmakers urge Biden to extend TikTok January 19 ban deadline. It says soldiers killed in Beth Hanun may have been caused by the IDF weapons explosion. U.S. agency warns of a potential New Orleans copycat attack. The American arms embargo endangers IDF soldiers, says the Israeli minister. The top House Republican says should be conditioning on the California wildfires aid. It says Houthis fire missiles at Israel as hostage deal looms. Those was previous news articles. Let's go for the time of Israel. The Arab news. Gaza ceasefire closer than ever as sides work on final details. Israeli officials, we are close and we are not there yet. Hamas says negotiations in the final steps. It says the Intria observed satellite launches successfully from California. 120 civilians killed in the artillery shelling in Sudan. It says Israelis and Gaza anxiously await trust deal. Palestinians' health minister says 6 Israeli airstrike killed 6 in a West Bank. It says Israeli armies intercepted missiles fired from Yemen. It says Sudan army denies involvement in the Al-Zarar state civilians assaults. It says unexploded ordnance killing Syria's children is at alarming rate, the UN reports. It says the second Israeli far-right minister opposing the Gaza deal. It says the Gaza-Lebanon conflict sees civilian casualties at a highest point over a decade. It says Sudanese rescuers say more than 120 killed by shelling ground around capital. It says Aragon urges jail Kurdistan militants leader to announcing the PKK's disbandment. Syria's new central bank chief vows to boost bank independence post-Assad. It says the Houthi missile targets central Israel, abandonning continual airstrikes and displays in Gaza. Some Israeli soldiers refuse to keep fighting in Gaza. It says the United Arab Emirates president welcomes Azerbaijan counterpart to Abdul the Bayou Sustainable Week. It says Israel airstrike kills family of 5 in Gaza. Israel army says intercepting of the projectile launch from Yemen. So I'm gonna go to the time of Israel. It says thousands rally for a hostage deal in Tel Aviv while hundreds protest against it in Jerusalem. Israel strike on Gaza al-Bala reportedly kills at least 10 Palestinians. No immediate IDF comment. Netanyahu hurdles with hostage negotiation team's securities chief in efforts to finalize deal. Biden tells Sicily deal wouldn't be possible without Egypt agreeing to stay in touch in the coming hours. Let's go to another news article. Go to another news outlet. It says anguish in the air. South Koreans demonstrate for and against impeachment President Yoon Hong-soo. It says dozens of survivors dead pulled from abandoned South African mine as hundreds remain underground. It says defending the North and amending rising geopolitical tensions. It says deadly wildfires ablaze in Los Angeles. It says huge challenges ahead for Lebanese leaders, analysts say from Voice of America. It said pro-Assad militants clashes with security, and Latakia, and what we know. It says NATO chief tells allies to raise the defense spending or learn Russia. It says U.S. announced strategic partnership with Armenia. It says Armenia formalized closer ties with the West. It says Philippines officials on Chinese incursions not ruling out another South China Sea lawsuit. It says Cameroon says host villages attack the people displayed by Baku, Bako, Haram. It says India stepped up diplomatic relations with the Taliban as rival Pakistan loses influence in Afghanistan. It says over 130 earthquakes detached under large Iceland volcano. This is St. Mark chapter 3. Yep, St. Mark chapter 3, verse 24. And if a kingdom be divided against itself, the kingdom cannot stand. St. Mark 3, verse 25. And if a house be divided against itself, the house cannot stand. St. Mark 3, verse 26. And if Satan rise up against himself and to be divided, cannot stand, but have an end. This is the book of Luke 21, verse 25. It says, and there shall be signs in the sun and the stars upon the earth. Upon the earth, disgrace of nations with perplexity and seas raised horn. And this is the book of Revelations. This is the book of Revelations 11, verse 14. The second woe passed, behold, the third woe coming quickly, which is Armageddon, Armageddon 1. This is the book of Matthew. Even if they do come with that moment, even if they do come with both sides with that ceasefire agreement, that's still not going to stop nuclear escalations happening in different places around the world, especially over there in the Middle East. Matthew's 20. What's up, Andre? Come on in.
Yo, what's up, bro?
Good to see you.
What's up, man? Just came to talk to you real quick, man.
Yeah. Been a minute, yeah.
Hey, man. It's just been hard like a girl left me, man. It's over with, man.
Yeah, that's what me and Bert was talking about, because I was talking when he was at the hospital. Yeah, it was like...
It was, man. It was a good 4 years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?